What is up, guys? Digital VFX here once again, and today we have a tutorial on how to make EDM melodies. And this one is pretty highly anticipated for me because one of the biggest requests that I get through all of my direct messaging and comments on my videos is that people are wondering how to make melodies, and they say that they're just pasting notes and it doesn't sound great and they don't know what they're doing, and that's a big problem for a lot of people. And I feel like if I kind of walk you through how to make melodies, or how I began to structure my melodies when I was learning how to kind of learn what was in key, then it'll kind of help you guys. So first thing I did was I went on Google and I searched major and minor scales and brought up this little chart here, and I feel like this is a big help. Blow that up a little bit. And so as you can see, it has all of the major and minor keys and all of the notes associated with each key. So these are all scales as you can think about them, and they'll really help you kind of figure out what notes are in key. So there's two parts of a melody, and there's a bass and then there's a lead. And I'm just going to be using a piano for this tutorial, but typically you'd have a bass synth or a bass instrument and then a lead instrument on top of that to kind of layer them. But piano sounds pretty good with bass and treble on top, so I'll just leave that like so. So I can just pick a random key and base everything off this chart. And I already know what sounds in key, but I'm going to leave this chart up for the duration of this video just so you guys can kind of follow along in my process of what I'm doing. So I'll just pick a random key. Let's do D major, a couple sharps in there. So first note is going to be D, obviously, and I can make a whole note on D, and I'm just going to start using whole notes for the basses, and then I can make them more into a rhythmic melody. And so I can pick another note, see what sounds good. Let's try G. And so I obviously, like I said, know which notes sound good, but you guys can kind of follow along and see this process on what notes. So said D major, so I tried D, and then now I'm trying G, and we'll see what that sounds like. So that doesn't sound bad, obviously, because it's in key, but let's try another note to see if anything sounds better or strikes a different melody. So you can go try an A. So we'll just go one full note up. So that sounds different. Let's try a different note, and then we can pick from those three. So D major, let's go even further down. Let's try F sharp. Let's say F sharp. Yeah, I just... So I'm just playing with some of those notes in key and seeing what I think sounds good. And I'm sure you've heard a chord progression similar to that before, and it's a very basic chord progression. So now I can get out quarter notes, or eighth notes I should say, and I can try to start making a basic melody. So I'll start on G because, or excuse me, D, because it's in the key of D. So again, using the notes that are in key, you can kind of play around on them. So bring this chart up. You can see D, A, and all those notes in key, and you can just mess around on them. And another thing you could do to kind of speed up the melody process is you could clone one measure and you can clone it to the rest and then just make variations on each note. So for example, and so if you have a melody that you're pleased with, then you can either make the bass notes match up with them. And this is pretty standard EDM song structure, which is why I'm kind of making it this way. Normally, my melodies would be a little more complex. And if you ever become unhappy with that, then you can just do the same process over again, or you can just try to find different notes. And so there's another melody option, and you can just, repeat the process to try to find what sounds good for you. And like I said, this isn't going to be a super advanced tutorial, and being that a lot of my songs are a lot bit more advanced than this, but I just wanted to show you guys kind of the process of beginning to get into melodies, and the more you practice this, the more you'll get comfortable with it, and you can start creating a lot more complex stuff. And like I said, I could always expand on this video and kind of make it a series if it gets super popular. But yeah, like I said, I hope this video helped. I hope you helped you guys structuring your melodies and kind of improved on how everything was sounding. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Remember to comment in the section below. And this has been a Digital VFX production. Thanks for watching.